ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Business Insider React. Why shit is so expensive? Let's get started. I wanted to start with this because I like chess. We just saw the FIDE World Championship and Magnus dad-dicking the other guy. It sucks when you call him the other guy. And so I want to know why chess sets are so expensive, including the knight, which is apparently the most expensive piece.
With every shaving
Shout out to Business
small
Insider.
incision,
They gave me the rights to use this and put it on YouTube legally.
master artisans turn these trunks of wood into 32 hand-carved chess pieces. A wooden set certified for the World Chess Championship costs $500. Much of the value of a high-quality set comes down to how well just one piece is made. The knight. There are less than 10 people who are trusted to carve the knights for the official World Chess Championship sets.
Do you think it's like nepotism? Because I assume that with like 3D printing and saws and lathes and laser guided missiles, anyone could probably make a wooden knight that is good enough. But they say that they're the only people that can do it, and so they're the only people that can do it.
So how are these chessmen made? And why are they so expensive?
Chessmen and women. The knight doesn't have to be a man. It's 2021, narrator.
At this factory in Amritsar, India, artisans carve the pieces for the official World Chess Championship sets. And the factory produces only 250 of them each year. Artisans train over 4 to 5 months.
That's about one set a day minus weekends, right? That's like Monday through Friday, one set a day?
These small blocks of boxwood were once large trunks, dried for 3 to 6 months, cut down, and shaped to the necessary size. Artisans use particular steel tools, called cutters, designed to make the proper cuts and overall shape of a chessman.
How is he stopping at the perfect moment? Oh, because the bottom of the tong, the caliper, is hitting it?
Called
and blocking?
cutters, designed to make the proper cuts and
Or is he
overall
just
shape
goated
of
like
a
that?
chessman. Once the cutter makes contact, it immediately changes the wood, and any slight misstep could ruin the final shape of the piece. While other pieces are carved in just a few minutes, a single knight takes 2 hours to produce.
Oh!
Less than 10 people are trained to craft knights for these championship sets.
Oh, it was the
ਸਰ ਇਹ
knight.
ਘੋੜਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੂੰ 10 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸਰ ਇਹ ਬੜੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ
This is
ਸੇ
the
ਕੰਮ
goat,
ਸਿੱਖਿਆ
Baljit
ਜਾਂਦਾ
Singh.
5-6 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕੰਮ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਾ
It took him 5 to 6 years to learn.
Compare that to the 4 to 5 months it takes an artisan to learn how to carve the other chess pieces. But unlike these other chessmen, the knight isn't an abstract representation of a medieval figure. It's designed to look like a realistic horse head. It's the most detailed of all the pieces.
ਇਹਦਾ ਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਗਲਾ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਗਲਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਾਈਡਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ
The
Interesting.
quality of the final piece largely depends on the skill of the artisan. A top quality knight must be completely symmetrical.
ਬਰਾਬਰ ਦੇ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਘੋੜਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਓ
But it's just as important that all 4 knights in the set look totally uniform. Otherwise,
Is it weird that I'm surprised that they even use wood pieces in chess? They don't have like glass or even plastic mold injection, some nice like girthy pieces?
the set altogether won't be
Interesting.
nearly as valuable.
I assume that most top chess players have no idea how much work goes into a chess set. They probably watch this and go, oh shit, that's crazy.
According to the House of Staunton, a large manufacturer of chess sets,
Wood is
a set
traditional.
of finely carved knights can represent up to 50% of the
Isn't polished stone is like the goated chess set, right? Don't you want like a polished stone set?
total cost of the chessmen. The other
up, Ruben?
chessmen have specific height and width requirements, designed by architect Daniel Whale. The king must be the tallest, at 95 millimeters, and have a base that's 39 millimeters wide.
This is embarrassing. Besides pawns, I thought every piece was the same height.
The largest of them all. The pieces have defining characteristics, like the king's crown or the refined jewel at the top of the queen's
I
coronet.
thought they were the same height.
These
I mostly
distinct
play on
features
chess.com, dude. You can't feel those pieces.
require more time and effort for the
Magnus Carlsen knows if you make the king 95.9 in size.
Compare this king to the king of a regular set, which has a much simpler straight-edge design. Pieces with even simpler designs than that, like a rook, take these artisans 7 times longer to produce compared to regular chess sets.
He's just eyeballing that.
The Chessmen is like of a championship
That's crazy. He just eyeballed it. There's no way that's perfect, right?
set, then we are only able to make 25 to 30 kings in a day because it's a very special design. If we are talking about making chessmen for tournament players which are used in vast quantities, then a carver is even able to make 200 to 250 chess kings in a day.
But the design of these chess pieces isn't solely aesthetic. It can actually affect the outcome of a game.
You're capping.
Each piece must be the correct height, the king being the tallest, followed by the queen, bishop, knight, rook, and pawn. The detailed features
Every piece is a
by
different
the
height.
queen, bishop, knight, rook, and pawn.
Remember when I said I thought all chess pieces were the same height? Man, do I feel stupid. Literally every single piece is a different height.
The detailed features
If you see in medieval ages, the chessmen were not really in a good form. The chessmen were round, some of them were spiral,
Holy shit, that's a knight? That's way cooler than the horse head.
not even carved in the shape of a knight.
Oh my god, look at that rook! Holy shit, this is goated. This is way cooler than the shitty pieces we have now. Although king and queen may be a little too similar.
This form you can see the kings properly, the knight, very distinguished, the bishop has a mitre cut.
This is known as the Staunton design, the only style allowed in international competition today. Pieces used in the championship match have an electronic coil, making it possible to track and broadcast each player's move. A full set with this tracking component costs about $700 more. The weight of each piece, along with the felt bottom, are 2 more significant factors that affect the game. All of the pieces are buffed and polished 3 times before they're assessed for quality.
Wow.
The release of the limited series The Queen's Gambit on Netflix sent sales of chess sets skyrocketing in November 2020.
Damn, son.
And although this demand is a positive for the industry, it also poses a challenge to chess producers like Aditya.
It is very difficult to find good quality skilled carvers for manufacturing chessmen. And even after 4 to 5 months, 6 months, we don't know if the carver would be good enough to carve a nice chessmen. So nobody wants to spend so much of time and realize that he was not able to carve the desired quality of chessmen.
It's fair to expect that $500 sets like these, and similarly hand-carved ones, could get even pricier in the
God,
future.
he's just going for it. That's crazy. He just does it. When he was doing the cuts on the rook, I was fucking peepo popping off over here. I can't believe he didn't measure it. Insane. Actually insane. That was why championship chess sets are so expensive, chat. Let's find out why Steinway grand pianos are so expensive. It's me. It's my mom.
Steinway & Sons Grand Piano.
There's nothing like seeing a curly-haired person and it's you. Taking people down to their simplest form, I excel.
Instruments don't come cheap.
Ooh.
A Model D concert piano in ebony, the most affordable finish of any Steinway piano, will cost you about $187,000.
Oh! What? The cheapest Steinway is 180?
But that's nowhere near how high prices can reach. Steinway has produced 2 of the most expensive pianos in the world, worth over $2 million each.
Damn.
The next most expensive piano
That one's
is
beautiful.
half the price, at $1.2 million. But with several other premium pianos on the market, is there something about Steinway's sound that stands out? And is that what makes these pianos so expensive? Named the Rolls-Royce of pianos by the BBC, Steinway has produced some of the most
Shout out to
sought-after
the
grand
BBC.
pianos for over 160 years. It's the piano of choice for Billy Joel, Lang Lang, and many other professional musicians. But compared to other high-end piano makers, it's often Steinway.
Do you think like a pop star piano player, and this is not to diminish what Lady Gaga has done for the culture, but do you think she could tell between like a Steinway and a Hatchford & Sons, whatever that second one is? I feel like at a certain level, you just get like the BMW because other people get the BMW, you know? You just want to get the rich person thing. I think obviously piano player, like pianist, classical pianists probably notice. I think Lady Gaga's got chops, but really a huge difference between a 2 million and a 1 million? I know Lady Gaga's good. I saw her in concert.
I can wear many different masks.
She did a jazz
depending on
show
the piece that
in
I'm
Vegas.
playing. There's some pieces you
badass.
want to be very, very diabolical, you know, and list, you know.
Oh my God, so diabolical.
And at the same time, lightness.
Each grand piano is 5 to 9 feet long and weighs between 540 and 990 pounds. Often, the bigger the piano, the pricier it will be.
The soundboard is the life of the instrument, the soul of the instrument. This is Alaskan Sitka spruce. This is the most expensive wood that we have in the piano, and we actually get it from the trees primarily that are on the shady side, the north-facing side of these islands. So they grow very little each year, and that means that we have growth rings that are very close together, not spaced apart.
Sitka spruce is used in other, but more than 50% of the Alaskan Sitka spruce they source won't meet Steinway standards. The wood must have a very specific grain density and direction, both which can impact the quality of sound. No more than plus or minus 15 degrees off a 90-degree vertical grain. It's partly why, when you press a key on a Steinway piano, you hear a distinctly long, sustained tone. The full rim is made up of an inner and outer rim. Some piano makers attach each of these pieces separately, but at Steinway, a team of artisans bends both together.
Some companies, as an example, will have hard rock maple for the outside rim, but the inside rim, to save money, they'll use something like Luan. Luan is not as dense and hard as hard rock maple.
Don't ever catch me playing a piano with Luan inside. Ugh, it doesn't have that long sustained note that I know from my Sitka elm.
And when you have your sound waves in that soundboard, some of them are being absorbed a little bit by that Luan, more than they would be by hard rock maple.
Hard rock maple.
The consistent touch of the keys is another valuable element unique to each Steinway piano. There are just 2 artisans in the entire factory trusted with weighing off all 88 keys of every keyboard. This ensures each key is balanced, so a pianist won't have to use more force to press one key over another.
I used to dream about the pianos chasing me. Now it's not a problem. It's up to...
What a crazy cold open for this character, for Gwendolyn Folk. I used to dream about the pianos chasing me. Oh, God.
I listen, you know, I pay attention to what it wants. That's the key to it, is pay attention and watch that hammer. That's the key to it.
A key shouldn't respond to the finger's touch too quickly or too slowly.
So when I go to check the return, it stays. You see the hesitation? It's no good. That means it'll stay up in the piano.
That's no good.
You see how fast that one is? That's too fast. So I take this one away. Then I put this one back, and it wants the small one. You see? So I put the small one. You see how nice it is?
Sorry, funny joke in the chat alert. Steinway & Sons is the most chosen piano for the last 45 years by criminals looking to hoist a trap outside of a door on an unsuspecting passerby.
And that tells me what it wants.
One of the most difficult jobs is the final tone inspection. The goal is to create a balanced tone throughout the piano by slightly adjusting the hammers as needed.
From note to note, we can soften or harden these mallets, or hammers as we call them, and balance the sound that they generate into the string.
Damn, so this guy's really like Mr. Steinway. He's the guy that makes sure that it has the Steinway sound, because he's the final line of defense.
Well, if I take this note and then soften it, in this case I will put a needle in the hammer to soften it, then you'll hear that tone change. A little bit smaller. And in increments, small steps, I can go through and find the notes that are too big, too bright, and step them down. Well, I'm 58, and I started when I was 28, so that's 30 years and counting. I'm still learning how to do this. It never stops.
Wow.
Depending on special editions, veneers, and wood finishes, prices for a single piece can reach $500,000. In the piano vault underneath the factory, Steinway houses one of the most expensive pianos it's ever produced, worth $2.5 million.
There's just something alien about having a piano vault. I don't know. It just feels like pianos are meant to be played.
Steinway piano.
Maybe I'm a
increases
hater.
And while the new pieces get more expensive, old ones become more valuable too. A Steinway piano can last several decades with the required touch-ups and restorations. And although there are several elements that greatly impact the price, it's the musician who ultimately decides what the piano is worth to them.
Pianos are so sick. It's insane using 10 fingers and your hand and your wrist and everything. And also thinking about literally anything. It's insane that you can play piano and breathe at the same time. It feels like it should be impossible, in my opinion.